Hello everyone, welcome to day 11 of your 28-day challenge. Today is another session of mindfulness. So last week we looked at breath work and we talked about the fact that we can have our own practice of how we discover the thoughts, the feelings and the body sensations. So through your breath work you might have been a auditory person, a visual person, or more of a feeling kinesthetic based person. So today, instead of breathwork, we are going to do a bit of a journaling practice. And with the journaling practice, we're going to take it into our everyday and add and subtract something out of our life just to get us into more positive headspace. So the first thing I want you to journal today is 3 things that you are grateful for. Now you've probably heard this practice of gratitude before, or having an attitude of gratitude, and there is a very psychological, decent reason for it, and that's because we are hardwired to remember the negative. So if you have a very busy day, maybe 5 or 6 really good things that happen to you, and might be 15 bad things that happen to you, or even just one, and you will always remember every detail about the one bad thing that happened, and you'll quite often forget the good stuff. Our brains are wired that way. We are wired for the negative, and we're getting a little bit better at it, but a lot of our upbringing up until this point has been very much focused on this idea of, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, doing what everyone else does, perfectionism, etc. And so every single time something good comes our way, we quite often forget to appreciate it as much as we do. And on top of that, if someone gives us compliments, etc., those sorts of good things as well, we often feel that we don't deserve them. And that is because the brain will naturally go back to a negative way of thinking until we train it out of that. So there is nothing wrong with you. Most of us do have a more negative bias, but to get it to the positive side, it requires a lot of practice. So the brain will repeat what you fill it with most. So if you're constantly thinking negatively about yourself, or if you're constantly, going to the stressful or going to the anxious side of every situation, then that is what the brain remembers and will constantly keep doing. And it can't be easy sometimes to change it. So there's no, having a go at you for thinking like that. You just want to try and practice and put as much time in as possible to getting your language a bit more positive and finding things to be more positive about in your day. So the easiest way to start with that is committing to a practice of gratitude journaling every day. So I want you to write down 3 things that you are grateful for today. Now, it can be the smallest thing ever. It could be that there was milk for your coffee. It could be that the sun came up. And on days where we really struggle to find something to be grateful for, those basic necessities of having a roof over our head, etc., even if you have to write them for a couple of days, what you are doing is starting this practice of your mind looking for the good. Because we know if we keep it negatively based, we're constantly going to look for the bad, we're constantly going to look for the stress, we're constantly going to look for the drama all the time. So the more you think in the positive, you'll train your brain to naturally find the positive. So add to your day gratitude. 3 things that you are grateful for. So start today. Try and keep it up for as long as you can, at least till the end of this challenge. We're on day 11, so try and keep it up till day 28. Once you get to day 28, you might find that day 29, day 30, or a month or 2 later, it becomes a lot easier for you to find the good in the day. So give it a go. That's something we're adding as part of our journaling process. And then something to subtract. I want you to subtract saying sorry. I can guarantee you, if you added up all of the times that you've said sorry for this entire week, about 90% of them weren't necessary. About 60% of them definitely didn't need to be said at all. And the other 30% probably, it was a nice courteous thing to say sorry, but it wasn't necessarily needed. Now, the first way to stop saying sorry is to stop acting as if your time is not valuable. And a way of thinking about that is, if you are at work or if you're at home with your family or whatever, and you're not sure how to do something, ask how to do it. Don't start the conversation with, sorry, can you show me this? Or sorry, can I bother you? Or sorry, can I just take up a minute of your time? What you're already doing is setting this conversation that you have up as a person who doesn't deserve the attention, as a person who has come into this situation and gone, oh, sorry, I know that I'm a bother, but could you show me how to do this? Or sorry, could you show me how to do this because I can't, and maybe you're not supposed to know how to do it yet. So try not to set up every conversation you start with sorry. You definitely are worthy of asking a question. You're definitely worthy of taking someone's time, and you might find that they're actually quite grateful of the time of the question that you ask, and they're very grateful of the time that they spend with you. Don't set yourself up to feel like a burden all of the time. Now, again, as I said, in a psychological perspective, that is because it also constantly sets your mind up to feel like you're not worthy. So if you're constantly apologising for your existence, or you're constantly apologising for the need to actually speak up, then you'll constantly think that you're not supposed to. You'll think that you don't deserve to. You think that you don't have a right to have a say. So we're adding gratitude and we're subtracting the ability to say sorry. Now, other chances where you might overuse the term sorry, sometimes we might think if we, are late for a meeting or we bump into someone or something, we have to say sorry. So sometimes when you bump into someone, you can just say, oh, excuse me. Or sometimes when you are late, you can say, thank you for waiting for me. So try and change the negative language that you have into more positive language. And I can talk to you more about that later. There's lots of different words that we can change so that our negative words become positive words. But for today, just start with removing the word sorry. So as part of your journal practice, if you want to, you can write down how it felt at the end of the day to not have to start every conversation with sorry. You could also make a mental note of every time you still did it, and maybe over the days, that number becomes less and less. So adding gratitude, getting rid of the word sorry. At the end of the day, this whole mindfulness thing and this whole happiness in life, happiness is not a destination. Happiness is a mindset. And your happiness comes from the journey along the way. So live your journey, be happy with your journey, take your space up in the world, know that you deserve to be treated respectfully, that you deserve to be able to speak your truth, that you deserve to be able to have your questions answered without feeling the need to constantly apologise for your existence. Have a very good day. It may be a challenge for those adds and subtracts, but it won't be any better if you don't attempt, so start today. Have a good one. See you for day 12 tomorrow.